What if the place you called home was never really yours? Welcome back to Reddit Night Confessions, where the scariest stories aren't fiction. They're submitted by real people, just like you. Tonight's story comes from a user named Never Safe Again. And after you hear what they found inside their new apartment, you may never look at your walls the same way again. I moved into the apartment on a Friday in late October. The building was old, maybe 1960s, with creaky hardwood floors and tall windows that let in just enough light to feel cozy. The rent was below market rate. The landlord was soft-spoken, polite, almost overly accommodating. I thought I'd gotten lucky. My neighbors waved from their doorways. An older woman on the second floor brought me a small plant as a welcome gift. Everything felt warm, but by the third night, something shifted. I kept hearing footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from above me. Except the floor above mine was a storage unit, unoccupied. Then came the tapping, always at 2 or 3 in the morning, soft, rhythmic, like fingernails against hollow wood, and the feeling, that constant crawling feeling that I was being observed. Not watched, observed, like something was studying me. It was a Sunday afternoon when I decided to rearrange the living room. I moved the TV stand away from the wall, and that's when I saw it. A small dark circle, no bigger than a shirt button, embedded into the baseboard, almost invisible against the old paint. I told myself it was a nail hole, a screw, anything. But I knelt down, and I looked closer. It had a lens. My stomach dropped. My hands started shaking. I grabbed a flashlight and started going through every room. Behind the bedroom mirror, another one, angled directly at the bed. Inside a hollowed-out section of the kitchen exhaust vent, a third, and in the bathroom, tucked into the corner where the ceiling met the wall, disguised behind a small decorative fixture, a fourth camera. I sat on the bathroom floor and couldn't move for a long time. Every shower, every phone call, every vulnerable private moment I had lived in that apartment, someone had been watching. I called the landlord first. His voice was calm, too calm. He said he had no idea. The police came within the hour. They bagged the cameras as evidence and told me they'd look into it. Weeks passed. No arrests, no suspects. I couldn't sleep in my own bedroom. I started leaving lights on. I covered the ventilation grates with tape. I jumped at every notification on my phone, convinced someone was still watching through something I hadn't found. Then I discovered the truth about the previous tenant. Her name was Sarah. She had moved out suddenly, 6 months before I arrived. She had filed the exact same report. Hidden cameras, same locations, same landlord denials. Her case had been quietly closed. The cameras weren't installed by a stranger. They had been placed and maintained by someone with regular access to the unit. Someone with a key, moved out within the month. I broke the lease and didn't care. The person was never caught. The apartment was relisted 2 weeks after I left. New photos, fresh paint, same below market rent. Someone moved in. I don't know their name. I don't know if they know what happened there. The scariest horror stories don't end with a monster revealed or a mystery solved. They end with the landlord relisting the apartment. They end with someone else moving in on a Friday. They end with you sitting in your living room right now, wondering, when did you last check behind your TV stand? If this story shook you, share it with someone you care about. Tell us in the comments, have you ever felt like you were being watched somewhere you should have felt safe? Subscribe to Reddit Night Confessions, new stories every week. Some of them might be closer to home than you think.